Bhagavati Naistike.
Hare Krishna, everyone. We are discussing fourth canto, 31st chapter. Today we'll continue from verse number 14 onwards. Share my screen. Okay, please repeat. Yatha tarur mula nisechanena.
Yata tarormoolanishechanena.
Yatha tarur mula nisechanena.
Yata tarormoolanishechanena.
Trupyanti tat skanda bhujapashakaha.
Trapyanti tat skanda bhujo pashakaha.
Trupyanti tat skanda bhujaspashakaha.
Trapyanti tat skanda bhujo pashakaha.
Pranopaharacha yathendriyanam.
Pranopaharacha yatendriyanam.
Pranopaharacha yathendriyanam.
Pranopaharacha yatendriyanam.
Tataiva sarvarhanam achyutejya.
Taiva sarvarahanam achyuteja.
Tataiva sarvarhanam achyutejya.
Tataiva sarvaranam achyuteja. Yata tarormula nishechanena.
Yatha tarurmula nisechanena.
Rapyanti tat skanda bhujopashakaha.
Trupyanti tatskanda bhujopashakaha.
Pranopahara Pranopaharacha yatendriyanam.
Pranopaharacha yatendriyanam.
Tattaiva sarvarahanam achyuteja.
Tataiva sarvarhanam achyutejya.
यथा तयोर्मूलनिशाचनेन
Yata tarormula nishechanena.
तृप्तन्ति तत्स्कन्धभुजोपचक्षाः
Trapyanti tat skanda bhujopashakaha.
प्राणोपहाराक्ष इथेन्द्रियाणां
Pranopaharacha yatendriyanam.
तथैव सर्वर्हणम् अच्युतेजा
Tataiva sarvaharanam achyuteja.
यथा तरोर्मूलनिषेचनेन
Yata
यथा
tarormula
तयोर्मूलनिशाचनेन
nishechanena.
व्यन्ति तत्स्कन्दभुजोपशाखाः
तृप्तन्ति
Trapyanti tat skanda
तत्स्कन्धभुजोपशाखाः
bhujopashakaha.
प्राणोपहारा चेतेन्द्रियाणाम्
Pranopaharacha
प्राणोपहाराक्ष
yatendriyanam.
इतीन्द्रियाणाम्
तथैव सर्वार्हणमच्युत्यज्य
Tataiva
तथैव
sarvaranam
सर्वहननम्
achyuteja.
अच्युतेजा
Synonyms. Yatha,
Yatha,
as.
as.
Taroho,
Taroho,
of a tree.
of a tree.
Mula,
Mula,
the root.
the root.
Nisechanena,
Nishechanena,
by watering.
by watering.
Trupyanti,
Trapyanti,
are satisfied.
are satisfied.
Tat,
Tat,
its.
its.
Skanda,
Ganda,
trunk.
trunk.
Bhuja,
Puja,
branches.
branches.
Upasakaha,
Upashakaha,
and twigs.
and twigs.
Prana,
Prana,
the life air.
life air.
Upaharat,
Upaharat,
by feeding.
by feeding.
Cha, and
And
yatha,
yatha,
as.
as.
Indriyanam,
Dhyanam,
of the senses.
of the senses.
Tatha eva.
Tatha eva.
Similarly,
Similarly,
Sharva
sarva
of all demigods.
of all demigods.
Arhanam,
Arhanam,
worship.
worship.
Achyuta,
Achyuta,
of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Ijya,
Ijya,
worship.
worship.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Sri Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. As pouring water on the root of a tree energizes the trunk, branches, twigs, and everything else, and as supplying food to the stomach enlivens the senses and limbs of the body. Similarly, worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead through devotional service ultimately satisfy the demigods who are parts of that Supreme Personality. Sometimes people ask why this Krishna conscious movement simply advocates worship of Krishna to the exclusion of the demigods. The answer is given in this verse. The example of pouring water on the root of a tree is very appropriate. In Bhagavad Gita 15.1, it is said, Urdha Moolam Adha Sakham. This cosmic manifestation has expanded downward and the root of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As the Lord confirms in Bhagavad Gita 10.8, Aham Sarvasya Prabhava. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Krishna is the root of everything. Therefore, rendering service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna Seva, means automatically serving all the demigods. Sometimes it is argued that karma and jnana require a mixture of bhakti in order to be successfully executed, and sometimes it is argued that bhakti also requires karma and jnana for its successful termination. The fact is, however, that although karma and jnana cannot be successful without bhakti, bhakti does not require the help of karma and jnana. Actually, as described by Srila Rupa Goswami, Anya Vilashita Shunyam Jnana Karmadi Anabritam. Pure devotional service should not be contaminated by the touch of karma and jnana. Modern society is involved in various types of philanthropic works, humanitarian work, and so on, but people do not know that these activities will never be successful unless Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is brought into the center. One may ask what harm there is in worshipping Krishna and the different parts of his body, the demigod, and the answer is also given in this verse. The point is that by supplying food to the stomach, the indriyas, the senses are automatically satisfied. If one tries to feed his eyes or ears independently, the result is only havoc. Simply by supplying food to the stomach, we satisfy all the senses. It is neither necessary nor feasible to render separate service to the individual senses. The conclusion is that by serving Krishna Seva, everything is complete, as confirmed in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhyalila 2062. Krishna Bhakti Kaile Sarva Karma Krita Hoy. If one is engaged in the devotional service of the Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, everything is automatically accomplished. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatade जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. We are discussing Narad Muni instruction to Prachetas. So in this section, Narad Muni established the supremacy of devotional service. He says the theme of this section is devotional service is the goal of all spiritual practices. So we have been discussing since few days that without God realization, if you do any activities, either it is towards different transcendental activities or any other material activities, is useless. So the Lord is the source of self-realization. To continuation that, in this verse, Narad Muni is talking about worship of the Supreme Lord is complete. This is the very controversial and heavily discussed topic. Like why Iskcon only promotes Krishna, not any other demigods. And Narad Muni is saying here that's on the same topic, right? So he said that as pouring water on the root of a tree energize the trunk, branches, twigs, and everything else, and is as supplying food to the stomach and enlivens the senses and limbs of the body, simply worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead through devotional service ultimately satisfy the demigods who are part of that Supreme Person. So we need to understand the position of the demigods. Or in other words, demigods means Devi Devatas. There are, as for our Vedic understanding, there are 3.3 million demigods, Devi Devatas, 33 crore or something, right? 3.3 million. So who are they? Fundamentally, we need to understand all the demigods are Jiva Tattva only. There are three tattvas we need to understand. One is Vishnu Tattva, Jiva Tattva, and in between there is a special tattva, it's called Siva Tattva. Okay. So Vishnu Tattva means all Supreme Lord and his incarnation are in Vishnu Tattva, means they are eternally present. They are eternal, they are supreme, they are not subjected to death, annihilation, anything like that. So they are Vishnu Tattva. Jiva Tattva on other hand are part and parcel of Krishna, right? We are all part and partial, right? We are part of that marginal Tathasta Sakti. We are another Sakti. And Jiva Tattva are subjected to, all the Jivas are subjected to death. The soul, they accept the body, different material body, and after some duration, the body will be deteriorated and the soul will leave the body. That is what we call the death. So all the Jiva Tattva go through the death, birth and death. Okay. Then in between that, we have a special tattva called Lord Shiva. So Shiva tattva, that's why he's not at a Vishnu tattva. At the same time, he's not at a Jiva tattva. That's what we need to understand. Okay. So all the demigods are like us. So we are all Jiva tattva. Even demigods are also Jiva tattva. That is the first fundamental understanding. Then, but what is the difference between us and the demigods then? All Devi Devatas. The difference is that they are elevated soul, they are pure soul, they are pure servant of the Lord, they are all engaged in different services to Krishna. To how they are performing their service, we have a different material or departments, isn't it? We have a see, there are so many departments. Krishna is the Supreme Lord, like he cannot handle all the department himself. That's why he engages some head of the department. Like in the college, we see, right? There is a dean or principal, and there are um, college or university. There are multiple universities, I mean, multiple departments: physics, chemistry, science, information technology, arts, or computer science, all that. There are various departments, and each department there will be one head of that department. We call HOD or head of department, like that. So what does head of department do? Like head of department, he maintains his department, right? He takes care of and he cannot do independently. He controls and manages his department under the control of the dean, right? Similarly, we have a various department, we have different material departments like air, fire, earth, like that. There are so many, there is a that's why we see all the demigod handles their particular department. We see we see that like we have air is that Vayu, Varuna Dev. So like that, Chandra Mandal, Chandra, we have demigod, presiding deity of Chandra. Indra Dev is there, Brahma is there. Like that, Indra controls water, and Brahma is also received. He's the high, first Purusha, first living entity, firstborn, right? So like that, there are so many, 3.3 million the demigods are there. So they are handling particular department. Saraswati handles the Vidya, the knowledge, the Jnana, right? Like that. So they are all taking care of particular department, and they're also Jiva Tattva. They also, go through death. Only difference is that they are very empowered souls, and they are elevated soul. They're serving to Krishna, and they have empowered by lordship. That's why Lord in Supreme Lord Krishna empowered them in to take care of certain department. That's why they, bestow mercy to their devotees in their department only. They do not go beyond the department. And after their service is done and everything, they are also subjected to death, and they have to elevate. They have to also go back home, back to God. That's what their plan. So that is why, and that's the demigod position. So then why do we need to worship the demigods, right? Actually, demigods only provide the material benefits only. If you really want to perform bhakti, then we need to come to the to worship Krishna, to surrender Krishna. Even demigods cannot liberate us. Demigods cannot help us to perform pure bhakti. Demigods are there to facilitate the material affairs and assist us to come to Krishna. That is the two things they can do. They cannot make us liberation. That is another second fundamental understanding we need to have. So why people then worship all the demigods? Simple answer is because the demigods are empowered by Lord and they are handling certain department. All the people are interested to get those material benefits. That's why they worship. When we worship the demigods, they will provide the material benefit. That's not a bhakti actually. That is what we call is a karma kanda. Karma kanda means follow some rules prescribed in the Vedas and to get material benefit only, not for pure bhakti. Because pure bhakti is only Krishna. Bhakti can perform to Krishna, not on the demigods. Demigod, yes, if you really perform bhakti on demigod, then demigods will what they do? They will redirect to Krishna. So this is what the fundamental answer, So that is why why our movement or true Vaishnava movement, all the Vaishnavas, there are like 4 prominent Vaishnava sampradayas we have, right? All the Vaishnava Sampradayas, they focus on the or worship to Supreme Personality God of Krishna. Because Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, um, you know, ev- when all the benefits what demigods provide, that comes from Krishna only. Krishna says, I sanction them so that they will bestow those benediction to their devotees. If that is not the highest devotion, then why demigods are um, awarding or bestowing such benediction to their devotee? That also Krishna mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, because all the demigods, their ultimate goal is to redirect everybody to Krishna, because Krishna is the Supreme Personality Godhead. They know, even they surrender to Krishna. All the demigods, they surrender to Krishna. So Krishna is the master of all the demigods. So they bestow mercy to their devotees, because they want to retain their devotee. Like, if they don't bestow some benefit, they will leave. Through that benefit, they want to hold some time. They want to what do you call, um, convince them, then finally slowly they redirect to Krishna. That is where but some devotees take longer time to keep. They do not have interest. They just to have a intention to just get a material benefit. They worship demigods. So accordingly, demigods also keep them hold. They don't want to release them. If they stop doing, then they know that they leave it, they become atheist, they become something. Some way they are also doing service to Krishna. The preaching activity they are also doing through that activity. Like how we preach. How we preach, new people, right? So that our intention is to bring them to Krishna consciousness. Even demigods wants that, and demigods will be 200% happy when we shift our focus, shift our concentrate to Krishna. So that's the so to answer that question, right here, Narad Muni say that, giving example, watering the root of a tree energize the trunk, branches, twigs, and everything, right? Similarly, if you worship Supreme Personality Godhead, all the demigods will be pleased, right? And another example, supplying the food to the stomach, enla- enlives the sense and limbs. Similarly, like, we do not need to feed our hand, eyes, legs, right? Independently, we just need to eat and feed stomach, and the stomach, our digestion system is there, are there. All different types of digestion systems are there, which will process the food, and all the necessary nutritions will be provided to the different parts of the body. Similarly, we need to worship um, Supreme Personality God. That's what here Narad Muni says. So, Tathaiva Sarvahanam Achyutejya. Similarly, worshipping the Lord by devotional service satisfies the demigod. We need not to independently worship the demigod. I mean, again, people say that, what is the harm and all these things. There is no harm. You can still worship the demigod, all the demigods. But, how should we worship? Because they are pure Vaishnavas. Yeah? um, they're empowered by Lord's mercy, so we can pray them so that they can take us to Krishna. They can bless us so that we'll become a pure devotee of Krishna, right? Instead of asking all material benefits. And Krishna says that even if you need a material benefit, you can approach me. If you approach the demigods, you are approaching wrongly way, abadi purvakam, because whatever the benediction you are getting from demigods, actually I am only giving them, and through them, yeah, it's passing through. You do not know. So why do you directly go to demigods? Even if you need those such material benefit, you can approach me. Because all the demigods are there. They are to facilitate the material affairs. That's it. The bhakti is the source. I am the source of all the bhakti. So just try surrender to me, and then everything will be taken care. Many people say, oh, is Krishna is selfish? Krishna wants himself everything. No, it's not selfish. Krishna is telling the reality. That is the thing. If you go approach a demigod, we don't get a bhakti. We do not get that liberation. They do not have a power to liberate also. Only bhaktya mam abhijananti evan chasmi yat tattva. Only through bhakti only one can elevate. One can come back home, back to Godhead, right? That is what we need to understand. So here, let's see, here Prabhupada says, the purport. I mean, this demigod worship thing is very important, Many people reject Krishna conscious movement because of this only, because they say that in Krishna conscious, in Iskcon, or in their movement, they do not worship any demigod because we know the fundamental reason, right? Because there is no need to worship demigods, when we are worshipping Supreme Personality of Godhead. So here, in the purport, let's discuss some important points here. Prabhupada says, the same thing he says. Sometimes people ask why this Krishna conscious movement simply advocates worship of Krishna to the exclusion of demigods. See, devotees, Vaishnava devotees, they are not offending to any demigods. They whenever they get opportunity, they worship the demigods, and they ask mercy, because they are all gurus. They are empowered by Krishna. They are, they can when we ask mercy, they can easily provide. And they will be 200% pleased when we approach Krishna, right? So Prabhupada gives example of Bhagavad Gita 15.1, urdha moolam adha sakham aswatham prahur abhyayam chandamsi yashya Parnani Yashya Tam Vedasha Vedavit. Right? It says the Supreme Personality Godhead said, it is said that there is an imperceptible banyan tree that has its roots upward and its branches downward, whose leaves are the Vedic hymns. One who knows this tree is knower of the Vedas. So that means what it says, Urdha Mula Madhasan, the cosmic manifestation has expanded downward. So this cosmic manifestation is the upside down. It's a reflection of the spirituality world. So this is not it's a reflection, like when we see the reflection of the tree on the river bank, on the, if you seashore or in any water body, if there is a tree on the bank, you can see that reflection in the water. It looks upside down, right? Similarly, this earth, this material world is a reflection of spiritual world. Spiritual world is the original abode. So Krishna is the Supreme Lord. So that is why here Prabhupada says, Krishna is the root of everything. Therefore, rendering service to the Supreme Personality Godhead Krishna means automatically serving all the demigods. Sometimes it is argued that karma and jnana require a mixture of bhakti in order to be successfully executed. And sometimes it is argued that bhakti also requires karma and jnana for its successful termination. The fact is, however, that although karma and jnana cannot be successful without bhakti, bhakti doesn't require the help of karma and jnana. So this is what we need to understand. Yes, karma and jnana, karma yoga and jnana yoga, all other paths require bhakti element. Without bhakti, even karma and jnana won't be served. So it will be fulfilled. Somehow, if you see the karma yogis, jnana, they have some element of bhakti, but bhakti doesn't need the help of jnana and karma. So that is what bhakti is devoid of jnana and karma. And Rupa Goswami says, Anya vilashita shunyam jnana karmadi anavritam. Bhakti is the devoid of jnana. We need not to do good. That's why when we perform bhakti, we need not to do anything else. Simple thing, simple understanding. Why to step into thousand things, right? When our shastras say that if you can step into one place, you get everything. Why do you need to go thousand shops to get thousand all the ingredient? You can go to one place, one mall where you can get everything. One stop shop, something we call, right? So that is what Krishna conscious is all about. Krishna is the one stop. When you approach Krishna, you need not to worry about anything else in the world. Krishna is everything. Sarva karana karanam. you know Ishvaraha Parama Krishna Satchitananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. He is the Sarva Karana. He is the cause of all causes. He is the Supreme Personality Godhead. What else we need, to be convinced? We need not to go through, step into thousands things, this worship, that worship. These are all not necessary when you are surrendered to Krishna. Again, what other benefits we get if you watch demigods and only get material benefit, but that's not the ultimate goal. Material benefits will be temporary. Is it that if you see that those even though we get some material benefit, that does not last for long, that
I think we lost him.
Yeah, I think so. Suddenly, what happened? Such a nice topic. Suddenly we lost it.
Yeah.
It's such a common misconception too. Is he coming back? We can discuss on this forever, Especially in India, right? I mean, nobody understands that the demigods are not the supreme personalities of Godhead.
My understanding, most of the people think they are equal.
They're equal, exactly. Majority of the people that we meet, they think
Yeah.
they're equal. That no matter no matter who we worship, that we go to the same destination. Even though it's completely illogical, right? If you buy a ticket to Bombay, you're not going to get to go to USA, or if you buy a ticket to any place, whatever place you aspire to, that's where you get to. And they do not understand that there is a demigod destination also, if that's what you want to go to. But it's not the supreme destination that you'll never ever come back from.
In India, I mean in Calcutta, a lot of Bengalis, they actually follow Ma Kali. So you go there, but they do not know the distinction. There's the
No, yeah, and Durga Puja
eyes.
is such a big thing among even
Durga
northern
Puja is such
Indians.
a big thing. All
Yeah,
these demigod pujas like Lakshmi Puja, Saraswati Puja, Kali
yeah,
Puja, they do it so
yeah. The
much grandeur.
Shaktas or something. Even Ganpati Govind, he says he came from that community with the Shakta worship.
What they worship?
I think it's called something. There's a term for it, Shakta.
Shakta?
Shakti.
Shakta. In Calcutta, Kalima, we call that is Shakta. That is the
Yeah, I think
follow Kali,
Ganpati Govind
Kali.
calls it some.
Yeah, they
He comes from that background,
Shakto.
just like Sarasraj comes from Shiva background, and Ganpati Govind came from that Shakti Bhakta background. Also, his family worshipped that. And even where I come from, I mean, in India, they would be appalled if you did not do Ganapati worship and Saraswati worship and Shivaratri. So, like, as you have to, it's like considered that all of the demigods have to be worshipped equally. I mean, although we do not believe in disrespecting any of the demigods, we feel there is no necessity to worship anybody if you worship Lord Krishna.
Yeah, that is very finite thing, you have to know it very well. Then you know the distinction. But
Right.
I was very fortunate. My aunt, just living next door, they were Shakto. My uncle used to follow
Mm-hmm.
Kali so much. But fortunately, my grandfather was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that's
Mm-hmm.
the highest.
Mm-hmm. Right. So,
Did I
But
hear Bhaktaraj correctly when he said, thought he said that earlier on, that Krishna can't do it all by himself, so he has the demigods take care of things. Did he say that? Yeah.
he said that before, yeah.
Yeah. But Krishna can do anything. He can do everything, but he chooses not to. And it's reciprocation.
exactly. I didn't hear that. I wasn't probably paying attention. But that's definitely not true. Yeah, Krishna.
He,
It's not that Krishna cannot do. Krishna can do everything, all by himself. Oh, in fact, I remember one Catholic girl. In my 20s when I was working at the Travelers. When I said that about the demigods, that's the supreme personality of Godhead, and the demigods are just helpers or something like that. I remember her saying, "The Lord doesn't need helpers; He can do everything by Himself." She
But
said,
they are called, the
"She's."
demigods are called
I,
department
I
head.
mean, she was Christian, of course. She was a Christian Catholic girl,
but
but
they're
but
great
she was,
devotees. The
huh?
demigods, they are Vaishnavas. They're great devotees, and Krishna reciprocates and lets them serve in that capacity.
Right. The demigods are nothing but why are we here? Because we had a certain desire, right, Jiva?
Right.
So the demigods also had a certain desire to serve Krishna in a certain way,
Right.
and they are given the opportunity to serve in that position, correct?
Yes. And Krishna chooses to enjoy in Goloka with his devotees. So he lets them take care of everything. He expands, to.
But it's just like the killing of the demons.
Yeah.
Krishna doesn't have to come to kill the demons. He could have killed the demons in any which way, but he comes for the pleasure of the devotees.
In
He-
one place in Bhagavatam, it says he displays these pastimes to give the devotees something to talk about. They enjoy talking about him in his pastimes so much, so he does that. I was just realizing today, everything is reciprocation. It's relationship. Everything is reciprocation. If you don't want to have a relationship, okay, go to the Brahmajyoti. It's there for reciprocation.
right. Uh, it's like, yeah, and it's just like what are we looking for? What is everyone in this world looking for? Some love, right?
Enjoyment.
No, but we are all looking for love, like like let's say even on like your birthday or something like that, you're not looking for gifts, you're not looking for like a fancy feast. You're looking, whatever you're getting it's the love, is the reciprocation, correct?
Yeah.
So I just realized that
Real
on my
love.
70th birthday, that all this love that people are giving me is what was really inspiring me. And I thought this is exactly what Krishna is looking from us also. Krishna doesn't need anything from us except the love, just like we are also only looking for love. If somebody gives us like a nice big fancy gift, it's not the gift, you know what I'm saying? It's the love. that it was given with. It's the care, that the caring that they thought about, it's the thought and the love. So Krishna is also looking for the thought and the love from us, and not necessarily, from each according to his ability. Krishna is not looking from everyone the exact same thing. He knows everyone's ability, so from each he's looking from. It's spiritual communism, like Srila Prabhupada said. Communism says from each according to his ability and to each according to his needs, the material communism. But spiritual communism is exactly that. Krishna is expecting from each according to his ability and gives to each one according to his needs.
As they surrender, I reward them accordingly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Reciprocation.
Reciprocation. It's totally about reciprocation and love. But coming back to the demigods again, people thinking they're equal, and I know some of my relatives just worship Lord Ganesha.
Yeah, but it's not based on Shastra. It's all based on traditions.
Yeah, it's based on tradition. And remember, sometime back in one of the classes, I said that in Bombay, this what is it, Ganesh Chaturthi being big started as a political movement. It wasn't even because the British would not allow people to congregate. They wanted a reason to congregate, and some of the political leaders started this Ganesh Chaturthi to congregate, because then they could not, stop a religious function from happening.
Mm.
So this big, in Maharashtra, this big Ganesh, movement started with the British not allowing congregation. So now it's like everybody in Maharashtra thinks that Lord Ganesha is like, the remover of obstacles. I know some of my relatives on their altar, their main deity is just Lord Ganesha. And they think Ganesha is the one who will remove all their obstacles, and that's the they worship Lord Ganesha. They don't want to, they think everything else is kind of secondary, that their worshipable deity is Lord Ganesha. But Lord
is back.
Oh yeah, he's back, I think. Yeah, but Lord Ganesha can give you, liberation.
Well, that again is based on material obstacles.
Yeah, material
They
obstacles.
don't understand the real obstacles.
Exactly. Like when we chant the Narasimha Kavacha, what's that? Ugram Viram Mahavishnum Jwalantam Sarvatomukam Narasimham Bhishnam Badram Mrityum Namamyam. You're not asking to save you from death. You're actually asking to save you from the cycle of birth and death. You know what I'm saying? Mrityum Namamyam is not like, of course we always chant that when we are in danger, but the highest danger is coming back into the cycle of birth and death.
And that other prayer we prayed to Lord Nrsimhadev to remove our demon-like desires from our heart. The Om Namo Bhagavate Narasimhaya, that one. Namaste Tejase that one we're praying to have our demon-like desires removed from our heart. Right.
Hare Krishna. Yes.
We lost you for a little while there.
Yeah. Actually, my laptop
died.
Automatically rebooted.
Oh, I see.
I just joined. But yeah, I joined immediately on the phone. I listened what all you spoke. That's wonderful. Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. I heard Jiva Mate said yes. Yeah, I did not mean that Krishna can do anything, but yeah, you are correct.
Yeah, I didn't think you thought that, but I just had to make sure it was clear.
Right. Yeah, that's correct. Yes, this is what, right? In here, I mean, these are the fundamental things. Even I had similar understanding, right? Those who are you know, grown up in India, they definitely have similar understanding that demigod worship, because all this thing, because everyone follow those traditions and no one has a clear understanding. That's the problem, you know.
But
And but
Rasraj, I remember right from our childhood, we were attracted. My grandmother was a great devotee of Krishna, and I think she knew Krishna was the supreme personality of Godhead. But I was obviously I was very, very, very attracted to Krishna, but I was very confused. I was very confused in my teenage years. I'm thinking like, we are going for Ganesh Chaturthi, we are going for Saraswati Puja, we are going for Shivratri, and of course there are the Vishnu Tattvas, there's Lord Venkateshwara, there's Lord, we did not understand the Vishnu Tattvas are all equal, we didn't understand that definitely. So it was very confusing. What is the relationship of all these different personalities? I never ever understood in my younger days, in my teenage years, what was the relationship of all these different personalities. And I of course went to a Catholic school, and they taught us enough about the Bible and Jesus Christ. I used to actually envy my Catholic classmates. Oh my God, they at least they have just one God. they don't they don't have to worry about all these different gods. And I used to think, what is the relationship between all these gods? We are all worshiping them equally. We worship them, we worshiping them with devotion and respect. But I didn't know the relationship. What is the relationship between all these different gods at that time that we thought we were worshiping? We didn't think of them as demigods.
yeah,
And even
yeah.
in India, they don't use the word term demigods at all. They say gods,
No, they say go everyone Bhagwan.
gods,
That's
and
it.
and that's why the Western world thinks we are polytheistic. When we are not. We are not polytheistic. Our philosophy have to constantly explain to so many of our Christian and even Muslims sometimes that we are not polytheistic. We are monotheistic. We believe in a supreme personality of Godhead, and there are, uh, other helpers around him, below him, who are given a certain position. And that's why the Britishers put us down. Our whole philosophy is polytheistic, and
Yeah, no,
that the idol worship thing they did not understand. The deity they did not understand at all. There's an excellent essay written by Bhakti Vinod Thakur that was particularly directed towards the British about deity worship, and it is so good. I don't have a copy of it. I read it ages ago from Prabhupada Maharaj.
okay.
I wish I had that those essays. I mean, I'm sure Prabhupada Maharaj probably can pull it up, or maybe his disciples. I don't know. Can help us get that essay. It's a very, very. There's an essay on vegetarianism. Not vegetarianism, prasadam, of course. And there's an essay on deity worship that Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote. Both essays are like amazing to convince Westerners.
Yeah.
I wish we could find those now. I got it in an email ages ago, maybe 30 years ago. So obviously I don't have that email.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is what you need to understand.
Bhaktivinoda Thakur's, I mean, skills were like, essay logic was so amazing. Anybody could be convinced reading that.
Mm.
I wish I could find those essays. I'm sure they're there somewhere. Maybe I can Google, let me see. But sometimes it's hard to find it unless you Google with the right prompt.
Mm.
I'll see if I can find it.
Sure, Mataji, let know. Hey. Is there any question from anybody? All right, then it's 2:00. Okay, let's offer our obeisances to all the Vaishnavas. Vancha kalpataru hescha kripa sindhu bhayevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, all assembled devotees ki jai. Hare Krishna, everyone. You are the host, Mataji. I think you need to end the call.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, next week I may not be here, Rasraj, for some time.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, all right.
Will you be able to end the call or?
Yeah, I can end the call. No, I can end the call. Yeah. Hare Krishna.